The eCom Seller Summit was created to prove that with the right tools and training, anyone and everyone can make money in e-commerce. So many people want to try their hand at e-commerce, selling on eBay, Amazon, Shopify, and more, but they're afraid they won't be successful. This summit will show you that there's many ways to do e-commerce, and there are many platforms you can explore, because e-commerce really has no limits. It really can pay your bills, and e-commerce never sleeps. There's nothing like waking up to profits from getting sales all night long. My name is Nicole Whitlock, and this is the eCom Seller Summit. Hi, this is Nicole Whitlock with the eCom Seller Summit, and today's speaker is Greg Webb. Now, Greg is going to talk with you about some pretty amazing information because he is really good at Keepa and Keepa charts. He's really good at finding inventory to buy and hold, and he's also an accomplished author. So, Greg, thank you so much for being a key featured speaker in the summit. Please go ahead and share.
Thank you for having me, Nicole. I just want to say welcome to everybody who's attending the summit. I'm glad you're here. Glad you're willing to learn. I hope that our time here together is going to be valuable today. I have some exciting information to bring you. A little bit about myself. Like she said, I have been on Amazon for roughly 5-6 years now. I am a student of Keepa. I have kind of developed my own strategy that's helped me on Amazon. And I released a book called Toyfolio in November of 2019. And my main passion is just helping people. I really just love to teach other people about this kind of stuff and help people kind of escape their 9-to-5 and help people achieve financial independence, all that kind of good stuff. If that's something you're interested in, I would love to talk to you about that kind of stuff. I'm going to go ahead and dive into my PowerPoint. We have a lot of information I want to share with you tonight. And so give me 1 second to share my screen. All right.
All right, so you have to click on the share screen button. Do you see it at the bottom?
Did not do it?
No. I see your beautiful face.
There we go.
Okay, there we go.
All right, can everybody see my PowerPoint? All right. So a little bit about myself. I am just a simple guy from Eastern North Carolina. I have a wife. I have one. My first child is on the way. And in 2014, my wife and I we were engaged to be married. We were going to get married in 2015. And I was kind of dabbling on Craigslist and eBay some. And it kind of dawned on me that in a matter of months that I was going to be getting married. I was only making about $35,000 at the time. My wife was just graduating from college and she was going to be going to grad school. And I kind of had this, just oh crap moment. Like, what am I going to do? How am I going to put my wife through grad school? How am I going to support her? How am I going to provide for her? All that kind of stuff just started entering into my mind. And I was like, I've got to do something to earn a little bit of extra money. I've got to figure out a way to make a couple $100 extra a month because then that would have been life-changing money for us. And, so I started selling on eBay more. During that time of the year, it was coming to Q4 of 2014, and the first Frozen movie was out, and there was toys everywhere. And I was selling Frozen toys on eBay like crazy. And I write about this in my book and just how I had toys like stacked up to the ceiling, all kinds of stuff. And quite honestly, it burnt me out. I did not enjoy shipping out eBay orders every day, but it's something I did. And I made a couple $1,000s off of it. And it was a lot of fun, but it was also very tiring. I had a really good friend of mine who was also a e-commerce seller who was selling on Amazon at the time. And he told me about Amazon. He was like, dude, you got to give up eBay and start selling on Amazon. It's way easier. You don't have to write your own listings. You don't have to do all this kind of prep work. You don't have to go to the post office every day. He was like, you just send it everything into Amazon FBA, you don't ever touch it again. And so with that information, I really took action on it. I started January of 2015 on Amazon, and I have not stopped since. I sold like $2,000 or $3,000 worth of stuff that very first month on Amazon, and it has just been all uphill from there. But in that first year of doing Amazon, like many sellers, I was buying stuff as soon as I bought it. Like, so I was going to retail stores, I was buying everything up that was a good deal. I was sending it into Amazon FBA, and you guys know the story of what happens when you send it in. The price tanks. Like, everybody's just a big race to the bottom. All the sellers are beating each other up over price. Most people aren't making much money. And it was extremely frustrating because I was doing this part-time around my job, and I had limited time to devote to Amazon. It was early mornings, it was late nights. I was sending stuff in, and I was getting, wasn't making much money with everybody taking the price. And it was one of those things where I was like, something's got to change here. And then Q4 came, and I had a really good Q4 of 2015, but I sold out of inventory too early. I kept on looking at the toy listings that I had, and they just went on to reach double or triple the price that I sold mine at. And that was, while I was really, excited that I'd sold out of stuff, I was kind of bummed that I missed out on the really high price stuff, and I missed out on a lot of profit. And so in 2016, I decided that something had to change. Like, I just made up my mind that I wasn't going to participate in the race to the bottom anymore. I wasn't going to play that game. I was going to develop my own strategy and, capitalize on the toy market the best I could, because that's where I saw the most opportunity. And so in 2016, I started buying toys just like I had been on clearance, but I started holding them and waiting other sellers out, and then sending them in and waiting to get to the ROI that I wanted to. And I've been doing that ever since, and it's developed into this full-blown strategy that I've taught other people and that other people have had success with. And it's something that I really enjoy. And that brings me to 2019. In 2019, I surpassed a cumulative total of $1 million in sales in the toy category alone, and this was part-time. I do not do $1 million in sales a year like some of my friends. I'm gonna get there one day. Right now, I'm still a small fish in the Amazon circle, and that's okay with me. Slow and steady growth is the name of my game. But also in 2019, some really exciting things happened. I also started the Buy and Hold WhatsApp group that I lead. We have a really good community in there. I share deals of what I'm buying in there. We talk about different things. It's a lot of fun. And I also wrote the book Toyfolio that kind of outlines my entire strategy that I'm getting ready to give you a brief overview of right here during this summit. So, what is Buy and Hold? Buy and hold is simply buying up in-demand, clearance, or limited supply items and holding until the market goes up. What this means is I found, especially in the toy category, in most major retailers, these retailers have markdown schedules that they follow every year. They have to do this in conjunction with different manufacturers and whatnot, different seasons, different movies and TV show license. They're required to carry certain things, and that means that they have to get rid of certain things, because retail stores have a problem that we do not have as e-commerce sellers, and that is shelf space. And so what they have to do is they have to clear out toys that are still really popular on Amazon, and we become the marketplace for those toys. Excuse me. All right, and then buy and hold is simply understanding supply and demand in combination with the market research, Amazon's bestseller rank, and Keepa. Excuse me, guys. And this is 95% toys. I write about it in the book that, I don't see this with a lot of other things. You can see it some in video games. You see it some in other categories, but the point I make in other categories is that, if there's a clearance sheet, or the clearance towel in Walmart that's white, there's going to be another white towel in that spot. If there's clearance bedding um, in a department store, it's very similar. They're going to have something very similar come back in its spot. All right, so why buy and hold? We want to maximize profits. I still do this part-time. And the reason I do is because, it works out with my schedule. I have a lot of flexibility, even though I have a lot of responsibility. But I like to maximize profits. I want to make more money with less inventory. I don't want to have to go out and source every single day of the week. I want to make the most potential profit with the least amount of inventory. It also maximizes my time. I'm not like I said, I'm not sourcing every day. I'm not prepping every day. I'm not shipping orders every day. I'm really trying to get the most bang for my buck. And so I think the buy and hold strategy is perfect for somebody that's working this around a full-time job, because it helps maximize your time. It allows us to also leverage Amazon. Amazon is FBA is a marvelous platform. It's amazing that we get to tap into all their tools and their resources. Amazon is really the place where toys spike every year. I write about it in the book that Amazon's Prime program is, everybody knows that Amazon Prime is amazing, and that Amazon mundanely delivers Prime inventory 355 days a year. And when it comes to that 10-day window before Christmas, they're crazy because customers only want to shop on Amazon. They trust Amazon to get them the item that they want in time. And so toys go for really big money during that time of year because Amazon has built this relationship with the customer, and the customer trusts Amazon. And then lastly, why I started this strategy is I don't have to participate in the race to the bottom. I don't play the game of other sellers. I'm not in the business to lose a bunch of money and waste a bunch of time. I'm in the business to maximize my profits, maximize my time. And so I'm waiting out all the other sellers and selling at the prices that I want to sell at.
I absolutely love that. I love that you're not participating in the race to the bottom, because the race to the bottom is crazy. Sometimes it's frustrating. You find a great item to sell, and then a bunch of people jump on it and they decide to lower the price, and somebody else lowers their price, and somebody else lowers their price. And then before you know it, you bought it for $5, and now it's selling online for $3.55. So so the fact that you don't participate now in the race to the bottom strategy, the race to the bottom game is awesome, because that's a great
It's very brutal.
maximize profits and get some big dollars for the items that you're going to resell.
Yeah, it's a brutal game, and it's responsible for a lot of sellers giving up and leaving the platform, which is less competition for us, but it's also sad for me because I want to see people succeed. I want people to win, and I think that there's plenty of opportunity for everybody to get a piece of the prize that's out there. So
I agree.
yeah. I get a lot of questions and a lot of naysayers with the buy and hold stuff. And they ask me questions like this. They say, but couldn't you make more money turning over inventory faster? Technically, yeah. But like I said, this is a completely different strategy than trying to get so many turns of inventory per year. This is somebody working part-time, finding really good inventory and selling it at really good profits. And, you may make more money turning over something really faster, but you also have to have a good supplier, good wholesaler, good private label item, good replan. It's a lot of variables that go into it, but I'm finding that, over a year that I'm making similar money to people who are turning over stuff faster, and I'm doing it with less energy, less time, less inventory. all that kind of stuff. But next question is, so what if the market changes for the item? I teach people to buy at absolutely bottom dollar if possible. And so we always like to have different exit strategies. I teach in my group, like you could exit here. If Amazon comes in back in stock, you can make X amount of money. If they continue to be out of stock, you can make even more money. We like to have options when we buy stuff using this strategy. So even if the market does change, a lot of times we can at least have an exit where we can at least break even and not lose a lot of money. And then what about storage fees? This is the biggest question I probably get with the strategy, and it is kind of a pain point with the buy and hold strategy. You do have to have some place to store inventory. I've converted my garage into my own personal warehouse, and so I'm not paying Amazon storage fees because you will get eat up if you try to send all your inventory into Amazon and let them store it for you. So that's something that you will have to figure out. People in my group, a lot of them are renting storage units, and they find that is a lot cheaper than paying Amazon. Some people have converted, extra bedrooms, offices, whatever they need to do to make it work to keep those fees lower on Amazon. Storage is something you're having to get creative about, and some people have the space to do it, and some people don't. And I understand that, but it's worth it. All right. So who is buy and hold for? All right. It's really for everyone. I think everyone can participate in buy and hold. Anybody can do this, but it's going to appeal to a few people more so than others. And just be honest with you, if you have a lot of cash, then this strategy is perfect because it's very cash intensive. I try to teach to go into debt for these things, not to, because we are holding it and the market does change for stuff. And I hate to see people, get themselves in a bind with going in debt for certain items. So it does require some cash, but I like to point out that I didn't have a lot of cash when I was starting out either. Like I started out with just a couple $1,000s, and even when I started this buy and hold strategy in 2016, I could only buy what I could buy, and I had to leave some stuff behind, and that's okay. And it's just kind of snowball from here. And obviously, I'm able to buy and hold more stuff than I was then. That's just the nature of business, and that's part of growing. So something you'll have to do too. All right. It also is, like I said earlier, it is for those with limited time and cash. Like you can start this with limited cash, and only invest in a few products and let those be your products, and let those be your winners. And then again, I want to stress this is for people that they don't want to source every day. They don't want to prep inventory every day. They don't want to go to the post office every day or ship off shipments every day. This is people for a limited time that you can still have a really good Amazon business with not putting in so-called work each and every day. And it's for those looking for something different. I know there's a lot of different ways you can make money on Amazon. I know there's a lot of different RA and OA strategies, wholesale and private label. And, there's certain people that like those different ways for different reasons. But if you're just strictly a RA or OA seller, then, this is something different because everyone that I see doing RA and OA still has that pain point of the race to the bottom. And this is the only strategy that I know of that eliminates that. And so if you're looking for something different, I think buy and hold is for you. We've already talked about what does it take to buy and hold. It does take cash. I like to teach people not to use debt, especially when stuff happens in the market. It takes a lot of patience. Patience is key. Sometimes we're waiting 3, 6, 9 months to a year before we buy something. It takes a lot of patience to do that. If you're not a patient person, then buy and hold is probably not for you. But if you can see the big picture, it's worth it. Takes a lot of discipline too, because just like in the stock market, when everything's a crashing, I teach my people in my group, like, I'll post a deal and I'll tell them in the group, I was like, all right, this is widely available at Walmart and Target for this price right now. And the price is 5 times that on Amazon. It's going to crash. Like, the price is going to come down and everybody's going to race to the bottom. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. All right. But you have to have the discipline to keep buying it, and you have to have the discipline to hold it through that period of time to get to the price point where it's profitable. And then you also need Keepa and BrickSeek. These are two tools that I use every day. Both of them have free versions, but both of them have also premium paid versions. Obviously, I use the premium paid versions because they make me a lot more money than they cost me. I like to tell people to try out the free versions at first to kind of get comfortable with it, but you're going to need to upgrade those two tools to really implement the buy and hold strategy the way that to reach its potential. All right, Nicole, you got any questions before we look at some examples and kind of take a deep dive into Keepa and looking at some really good examples with toys?
No, I think everything that you have shared so far is great. And so here's the thing I will say for those of you that are new to the e-commerce game, or maybe you've already been doing e-commerce and you're getting frustrated with spending a lot of time sourcing, because it is doing RA can be a grind. It's going out and sourcing all the time. So if you're looking for the opposite of sourcing all the time, this is a great strategy, because you spend little bit less time, and the shipping costs, all of that. It's just a completely different strategy. And again, you're waiting people out. That's something I've always taught, that you need to wait people out. If they're going to bring the price down, it'll eventually come back up. It will. It always does. It never
Yeah.
stays down there that low. Sometimes the damage is done, because I remember back in the day, it's like, okay, if it goes below $10, then it's going to be an add-on item, and then it's hard to sell that item. So it's like, oh, okay, now I got to revisit it, maybe put it in a bundle. But but yeah, I love this strategy. So yeah, let's take a look at what you got here.
All right, I'm gonna show you guys several examples. First of all, I want to kind of explain like the psychology behind all this kind of stuff, or if that's the word, proper word, I don't know. But anyway, when major retailers, i.e., Target and Walmart in particular, when they put a toy on clearance, that toy is for the most part gone forever. Like, it will never ever be back in that store again. Now, just take a minute and pause and think on that for a second. All right, it's never ever going to come back in stock in those stores again. It's just not the nature of their business. Their businesses are meant to offer new products. There's always a new movie, a new TV show, a new like hot toy that's supposed to be coming out for Christmas. That they have all these things, and so they aren't going to restock it once they put it on clearance. And so it creates this huge demand for toys in the third-party marketplace on Amazon, eBay, and other platforms, but Amazon in particular. And so we're going to look at a bunch of different examples of items that I bought from different retailers and kind of look at the Keepa charts behind them. And I'm going to take a few minutes and explain Keepa first on the first one, and then we'll talk about the scenario with each one, the story behind each one. I like to tell people that Keepa tells a story, and if you can figure out that story, then you can make a lot of money. And so I'm going to talk about this one for a second. This is one of probably the best item that I sold in 2019. It's a Hatching with Advent calendar. And before I go into the story, I'm going to kind of explain Keepa. This is Keepa chart right here. Keepa is a website as well as a Chrome extension that you can install. It's free to install it on your Chrome browser. And it puts this nice graph up here. Now, if you don't have the paid version, you can't see the sales rank graph, which is that green line. And you don't see the bottom graph, which is the number of sellers. And I don't think you see a lot of the different options here. All right, but Basically, the main things that we want to be looking on Keepa is, first of all, the top graph is all the price history, and then the bottom graph is the number of sellers on the listing. All right, a lot of people miss this bottom graph, and it's probably the most important to be looking at for buy and hold. All right, so first of all, what I want to be looking at is, first of all, Amazon is represented by the shaded orange area. So every time you see a shaded orange area, that is Amazon in stock. We've got our new price here populated. These blue squares are third party fulfilled by a merchant. That's somebody shipping the item out of their house or out of their own personal warehouse. Third party FBA are these red triangles, and that is somebody that has it at Amazon Fulfillment Center. These pink diamonds are what represent the buy box, and then they're all important. Sales rank graph is kind of like the seismograph, green up and down graph. Now, you can sort the range that you want to look at by day, week, month. So we can zoom in, zoom out. I always like to see the whole year because the big picture tells everything. And so I'll back up and explain kind of what happens with this item. This item is released new to market in the fall of 2018. As you can see, Amazon was in stock for $25. They lower it a couple times, 19, 18, and then right around Black Friday, something interesting happens. Amazon goes out of stock, all right? And it drops off here. And if you notice, the number of sellers goes from right around 46 all the way down to like 14 sellers. So 30 some sellers sell out in just a matter of like a day or two. Now, it's interesting to point out that when this happens, the price shoots up on Amazon to where somebody was selling this close to $49 in early December 2018. This is when you want to sell an advent calendar. You want to sell it late November, early December, because that's when parents are using these toys with their kids. You know, advent calendars, they open up one a day throughout the month of December. And so it has decent sales in December here, but most people don't have any need for an advent calendar throughout the rest of the year. And so what happens here in early January is that Walmart also has these in stock in stores. It's not online, but they're in stores, and they're right at this like $20 price in stores. And what you see happen in early January is that Walmart slashes these all the way down to 75% off. So they're $5 in stores, and Amazon still is at over $20. So people are buying it for $5 and seeing that Amazon's over 20 still, and that the rank is under 10,000 toys. And so they immediately think, oh, I can send this in and I can make money. And so the number of sellers goes from 26 here to over 50 right here. And you see what it does with the price. The price comes down to $13.50, where after Amazon fees and all that kind of stuff, most people aren't making very much money. They're making $1 or $2, if that, after all the fees. But me and my shopper, we went around and we bought over 300 units of these at various Walmarts in our state and other states around us, and we held on to those all of 2019. And like I said, we had patience and discipline, where we just waited out all these sellers. All these sellers sell off. Price slowly creeps up, and then what happens in mid to late November, Amazon's not in stock anymore. All these sellers have sold out, and the price goes to $35, $40. We were able to sell all 30 or 300 units between $35 and $40. And just for those quick math there, that's over $6,000 in profit off of one item that we bought in January. And that's what I kind of mean about using your time wisely and sourcing wisely. You know, we spent a few days sourcing those 300 units. We spent a few hours prepping those units, and then they just sat in boxes for the whole year. And we sent them in November, and we made over $6,000 off that one item. So that's what I kind of mean about using your time wisely and all that kind of stuff, and sourcing smarter, and not participate in the race to the bottom.
That now, I just have to say that that is an awesome, awesome example. The other thing I do, I buy advent calendars as well, and I always check to make sure that they don't have the year published on them because yeah, those will throw you off. But
Yeah, they throw you off, but a lot of people still like they
the
still buy
design,
this, they still buy them. Yeah.
awesome.
Um, I have several more examples that I want to show you guys, and I got a few that are older, but I want to show you guys like really good examples of what happened in 2019. Um, what we bought. Now, this one right here, as you can see, is currently unavailable. Nobody has this item for stock right now in stock on Amazon. But I want to, oh no, hang on, let's see if it'll reload. There we go. The story behind this one. This is one that I shared in my buy and hold group last year. So like I said, we started the buy and hold WhatsApp group in late December, early January, and it was the first full year. And right around here, right this time of year in March of last year, Walmart.com had these on sale for $6 a piece. Right. And I posted these in the group, and basically my commentary in the group was, hey guys, Walmart has these for $6 a piece. Right now the prices on Amazon is roughly $20. You know, you can make, you know, pretty good ROI there because they're small, they're light, all that kind of stuff. Amazon has been in stock a lot, you know, at this like $13 to $15 range, where worst case scenario, if they do come back in stock, we would break even. So there's not a whole lot of risk, but they do have a history of going out of stock and hitting this $20 price point a few times. So I feel comfortable with it. But the caveat that I also pointed out to them was like, guys, I'm in stores a lot. I source Walmart and Target hard. I kind of know what the whole toy section looks like the back of my hand. And I have not seen these in stores. And when the market tells me that I have not seen something in stores and that Walmart is clearing them out online, that is like just flashing buy signals to me. And what happened was a lot of people bought at 6 here. You see the number of sellers went from 27 and it jumped up to around 45 or whatever, and people sold them there. But you see what the price did. It went down to $14 where people weren't making a whole lot of money. That's the race to the bottom right there. It was a short race to the bottom, but nonetheless, it was a race to the bottom. But by summertime, the price had gone to $40, $45. And then throughout the fall and Q4, these things were going for $100 just in Q4 of 2019, with people selling out where it wasn't even available during some of Q4. And right now, it's not even available on Amazon.com at all because, like I said, nobody can find them. They don't exist anymore. They were discontinued, whatever. I actually sold out way too early. But at the time, it was like an all-time high. I sold out of all the ones that I bought. I sold between like $45 and $50 right here, late summer, early fall of last year. Made several $1,000s in profit off of those. And so again, this is just one item that, you know, I was able to, Walmart.com, you could order 100 at a time. And so I had a couple orders of 100 units a piece, and made some good money off of it. And a lot of people in my group made a lot of good money off of this one. All right. Actually, I want to show you this one first. All right. This one was another one that I shared in my group last year in 2019. And I can show you guys, we bought it in July. So last year, Amazon and Walmart both came in stock between $30 and $25 in the middle of July. And this was another one where when I posted in the group, I was like, it's $25 right now on Amazon and Walmart. Another thing I haven't mentioned is my group buys a lot from Amazon. We do a lot of Amazon to Amazon flips. We'll look at Keepa charts and we'll see discrepancies in the market. We'll see discrepancies in price. We'll see that Amazon, for whatever reason, is offering it as at a historical low price. But they also have a problem staying in stock often, and it spikes in price often. And so we were buying them from Amazon and Walmart. And I was saying here that, it was the first time they had been in stock all year. They had spent, 6-7 months out of stock where the price was at $55. And then if you were buying at 25, there was a good, ROI to make there. But also this one was one where, I haven't seen it in stores, guys. I was like, I haven't seen it in stores. I think this one is going to be pretty valuable. We were looking at comps from a different similar puppy that was a little bit older, and a similar puppy that I don't have time to show tonight. It was going for over $100 at the time, and so the same brand and everything. And I was like, this one has potential, but even if it doesn't spike like the other one that we were competent with, that you can make some money at $55. And I had several people in my group hold these until December, and I had multiple people in our WhatsApp group post that they sold these for $175 or $200 a piece, early or late December, early January. All right, so some of the sales here you see were some of the people in my WhatsApp group making really good money on that item. All right. And now that you've seen that item, I want to show you a similar item. So this is one that's actually still in stock by Amazon. What I want to show you is that, we look at the history of, similar items in our group. So we know what the item I just showed you did and what another one did and everything. And this is one that Amazon was in stock pretty much all year at like $25, $27. I think eventually that this one may really, really spike in price like the other ones have in their history. But this is one that Walmart and Target also put on clearance last fall or last summer. And you can see this in the story here with the number of sellers, where it goes from like 40 sellers in late September, and then throughout October and November, it jumps up to 87 sellers. This is because Walmart and Target had these in stores for like $13 and less. I think $13 was like the bottom in Walmart, like $10 was like the bottom in Target. And so even though Amazon was in stock for $28, there was still a slim margin to be made there, and it's a good enough sales rank where people were selling these and they were able to find a good enough volume. But those in my group, we really believe strongly in this item, that this one has potential to really spike in price. I believe a few of them sold them during Q4 when it spiked up into like the mid 40s to go ahead and get some of their money back. But I myself, and I know of several others in my group, we're just kind of waiting on this item. Like Amazon has now established that they're going to sell it up at this $40 and $50 price range. Right now, we could send it in and make like 200% ROI on this item if we want to. If we need to, like for whatever reason, get some capital back, we could do that right here. But we're kind of the mind that you can't find this item in stores anymore, and eventually Amazon's going to run out of stock, and there's no sellers left. All these sellers have sold out, and so once Amazon goes out of stock for good, this item's going to go shoot up, we believe. So it's kind of like seeing things before they happen, studying the toy market, understanding supply and demand, understanding that you can't get these anymore in stores, and just being patient, having discipline. All right.
Absolutely love that. I absolutely love it. I love it.
I will show you. This one's a couple years old, and I think this is the one that I write about in my book. But I'll give you guys another store that you should really hit hard. This came from a store called Ollie's, which is really popular in the southeast United States. I think they're trying to go nationwide, so they're slowly and surely getting stores across the U.S. and I think they're starting to get more in the Midwest now. I'm not so sure about the West Coast right now, but they're opening up stores like every month it seems like. But when I say that when Target and Walmart and other major retailers, when they clear out an item, when I say that they're gone forever, that's the majority of the time. Where that sometimes the majority of time comes into play is that a lot of times when they clear out items, if they have a large supply of something, this is where suppliers like Ollie's or TJ Maxx or Ross or those kind of stores, this is where they get their inventory, because it doesn't make sense for those stores to carry brand new inventory, because that's not their customer base. Their customer base is not looking for brand new inventory at brand new toy prices. They want, they want what they think are brand new toys at brand new prices or a discount price, and so they're looking for a deal there. And so these stores buy up excess inventory from different retailers or different suppliers and manufacturers and offer deals to customers. And so this one was one that was in Ollie's for $10 a piece back in, I think, in 2017. Let me reload this Keepa chart real quick. Yeah, 2017. So the story behind this one is that in fall of 2017, this item was selling for $30, $35 on Amazon. And as I said, Ollie's had this for $10 a piece, and you can see here the number of sellers went from 22 sellers all the way up to 109 sellers. So a ton of people jumped on this listing. And this is a perfect example of a mountaintop. So I always like to teach my people in my group that, like, the bottom graph, the number of sellers here, this is called what I call the mountain. And we always never, ever, ever want to sell when the mountain is going up. We always want to sell, preferably when the mountain has bottomed out on this side, right? We want to wait out all these people, all right? And this one does it fast. The mountain goes up and comes down fast because the sales rank is just so good on this item that it just, it doesn't take very long, and you can only get like 10 or 15 of these a piece at each Ollie. So, one seller can buy out all of them at one Ollie's, and it's not going to find any more, because Ollie's philosophy is, once it's gone, it's gone. One seller buys out the whole supply at the store. Nobody else can find them. And so a lot of sellers don't have a lot of inventory. While there's a lot of sellers on the listing, they only have like 10 a piece. And so they all sell out really fast. And even before Christmas, by the time Christmas comes, if you had just held out throughout, November, you'd have been able to get $40 a piece for these around Christmas time of that year and make, 200% ROI, or hold it out. Who would have known that this thing would have gone over $100? I think I sold in the $40 for $50 range that year. So even I sold way too early on this item. As you can see, they don't make this anymore. Nobody can find it. It's had nobody on the listing. And this is what you see with Keepa. Like, the sales rank just gets worse and worse and worse, because the sales rank can't improve if there's none available for sale. But you can see when it does come in stock that people are buying it at this really high price, even today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I got two more for you. I'll give you another store to look at. This one is from Five Below, of all places.
Love that story. Love
Yeah.
Five Below.
I will issue a caveat that most of the toys in Five Below are not worth looking at, but I've only been sourcing Five Below for like the last couple of years. It kind of like just turned on to it in the last couple of years, because I always thought it was like junk and not worth anything. But I have noticed that Five Below offers usually like anywhere from like 5 to 7 items every Q4 that are like just gold. Like, and if you can find those, select items, then you can make yourself some serious money. And so this was one. I'll tell you the story on it. This one was available in 2018. So in the Q4 of 2018, this item is selling for $25 to $30 on Amazon. And right here in mid-November, Five Below comes in stock at $5 a piece in stores and online. And so the number of sellers goes from 18 to over 100 again. And the price on Amazon comes down to $12 a piece. All right. People just tank the price. You're not making really much money buying at 5, selling at 12. I mean, just making pennies. All right. But this is one we had just started the buy and hold group. I think this is even a bolo that I shared just in a big broad webinar with some people. And I was just telling people that, the history of this item. Amazon has not been in stock for 2 years. It's averaged over $20 a piece. Like the sales rank is, anywhere from, it stays like under 2,000, 3,000 in video games. I was like, this is a perfect buy and hold item. And it ended up being true. I held out pretty much the entire year and sold all of mine in the $20 to $30 range just a couple months ago. And so this is one that was a little bit longer hold because the price kind of stayed under $20 for a good part of 6 to 7 months. But it was worth it because I had a couple hundred of these and was able to sell them between $20 and $30 a piece just a few months ago. And I got one more for you. This is another one that's currently unavailable that you can no longer find in stores and you can no longer find on Amazon. And believe it or not, this one was just available in Walmart this past summer. And I always tell, Keepa never lies. Like, this is the story. Like, in the summer this past year, you have all this price history back here where it was flirting with $50 and over $50 in price. And I shared this with my group. This one was on clearance in Walmart for, I think, $17, like $9 to $17 in stores. And it was $18 online. You could buy 100 of these off of Walmart.com last July for $18 a piece. And they were going for $57 at the time. As you can see, everybody's the same old, same old. Like, it goes from 16 sellers all the way up to 100 sellers. And I told everybody in the group, just hold, be patient. Like, don't panic. Like, don't sell at $31. You're not going to make any money selling at $31. All right. We know that Walmart's the only store that has it. Just hold, and you're going to be thankful you did. And pretty much most of the people in my group sold in December in the $80 range. And as you can see, it's just gone up from there, and now nobody has it left. So that is buy and hold in a nutshell. That is Keepa in a nutshell. I do this with products pretty much every day now. I've developed a system where I'm holding toys for, like I said, 3 to 6 to 9 to a year. And once the mountaintop on all these items bottoms out, I'm sending in toys year round and doing this year round with toys, not just at Christmas. Most of the time it is Christmas, but it happens year round with toys like this. And my book kind of overviews all this kind of stuff too. There's a free Facebook group. It's just a Toyfolio Facebook group. I mention it in the book for people to go to watch some training videos. I share some of these same examples in there for Keepa. I share some videos on BrickSeek. And it's a place where you can ask me questions and all that kind of stuff. So I hope you guys take advantage of that. And we'll try to drop the link and that information for you guys as well.
So. Oh my goodness. That was awesome. I'm going to bring us back on screen here. Yeah. That was awesome. Now I have to, let me do this. Remove this one from the screen. That was awesome, Greg. I appreciate you. So here's the deal. Greg, you shared some great information, KEPA and strategies. We want to encourage you, if you have the opportunity, if you have not already gotten your All Access Pass, if you want to come back and listen to anything Greg has said, then grab your All Access Pass right now. Once you grab your All Access Pass, you'll be given access to Greg's bonus giveaway. And so the only way you can get his bonus giveaway is to grab the All Access Pass. And your bonus giveaway is what, 1/4 access, 1/4, one
Yeah,
full access.
one whole quarter to the WhatsApp group that I've been mentioning throughout the webinar, that where I share deals and leads and information in. So one whole.
So if you want access to that, you need to go ahead and grab your All Access Pass so that you can get access to that.
1/4. People are paying $697 a quarter for that group now. So $700 value for 1/4.
That is an awesome bonus. And as you can clearly tell, he knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing. That alone is worth, I mean, the All Access Pass costs way less than that. So I thank you for that tremendous bonus. The information you shared today was pure gold. I hope that several of you, again, will upgrade to the All Access Pass, and then that way you'll be able to watch this as many times as often as you want to. So, Greg, thank you for taking the time today to share this information. We truly appreciate you, and thank you for being part of the eCom Seller Summit.
You're very welcome. I enjoyed it. Thank y'all for having me.